Well, I expected when the pandemic hit, I really expected to see a decline in the interest and drive of the researchers to do public engagement within my centre, which I think would be completely understandable considering everything. But I actually saw an increase, and that was really heartwarming. And they felt like public engagement was more important because a lot of the people that they work with already feel isolated pre-COVID. So they felt like not only did the engagement serve a purpose, for whatever the project's purpose was, they felt like it also served a purpose to help deal with that loneliness and isolation.
The way that universities suddenly offered their resources in a very kind of public and kind of tangible way.
One of the things that's happened, if you think about community university physically, is that the boundaries between university and community have totally disappeared because we're working at home. We are living in community, walking in our communities, so many people walking around. So I hope that when things get back to so-called normal, that separation, the physical separation between the university and community, won't grow back again.
It feels like everyone has embraced this truth that's always been there, that we're not these binary siloed individuals, but actually people are working with kids at home, people are working with mental health issues, people are working in strange spaces and times, and trying to find a way to balance what gives them fulfillment and what's important to them in a practical level, in all sorts of new ways. And that's just become normal and expected. And I hope that's something that stays with us even once the world starts to look normal again.
That's been watching how my colleagues have so quickly adapted to new situations that we couldn't have even thought about before. So really, truly getting to the bottom of how they engage with their audiences, what matters to those audiences, how they can reach them. So finding new techniques online, but also thinking about what they can do offline as well.
I've been also doing a little bit more teaching, and I've met some brilliant people through doing that, and that's the technicians at the university. And I'm hoping that they seem keen to be involved in some engagement. Their knowledge and expertise is enormous, and their willingness to get involved.
At the minute, I'm coordinating a European project called Circlet, and I was really worried at the start of the pandemic because I thought that we wouldn't manage to deliver our activities, and it's working with academic staff to support students to engage and to change small things in their modules to make that happen. But actually, people have really grasped it, and even though they're so busy, they're there, they're engaged, they're enthusiastic, they want to make changes. And I'm feeling really hopeful that actually across the 5 universities in the consortium, we are going to really properly make and embed changes in academic curricula, which is something I've wanted to do for years and have done in small ways, but this is kind of, massifying it and kind of doing it on a bigger scale. So I feel quite excited and quite hopeful about that, actually.
The Government of India finally announced in July a national education policy, which covers, of course, the entire gamut of education field, but has taken a lot of ideas of social responsibility, community engagement, responding to sustainable development goals. Many of the things that we have been championing and our UNESCO chair has been writing about are part of that policy.
The sense of community, the spirit, the communal spirit has ignited the campus. We need to harness that and celebrate that and make that the part of our DNA now, not to lose it.
I liken universities to being cruise ships. So most of the time we are frantically kicking it away at the back, madly with our feet, trying to change their direction. And the one thing that's given me hope is the fact that universities can pivot when they need to. If there's one thing that's coming out of COVID, it's how fast universities and the university communities can respond to the community needs and actually get things done in a very short span of time. And that has been really impressive for me.